I shan't go to the live, so.
I have my little one with us, so
I just go straight onto it. Let's just say, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another show, and we're gonna on a full-time show. So fans could have to see if they fancy coming on, and if you like the video, please subscribe to our channels, John Sinclair and H. Robbins Talk as well, and also stick around for it's on live and the intro, so just go straight onto it. We're just going to talk about this mad game we just witnessed today. Newcastle 3, West Ham 2. First half, I'll start with you, Baz. First half, it was absolutely magnificent first half. I mean, Joe Linton played well. Fernandez, outstanding. ASM.
Very, very eager to point that out, John.
Very eager to point out Joe Linton had a good first half. But can I just say that second half?
Honestly, I mean, I praise someone when they play well, and I cuss them when they don't play well.
Oh, true. But yeah, first half was fantastic. Obviously, 2 goals, the man getting sent off. By the way, great refereeing for a change. We're going to have to point that out because the referees, as we know, VAR and this sort of stuff has been in shambles recently. Yeah. But I'm sorry, but that second half was absolutely disgraceful. How can you play against 10 men, winning 2-0 and allow them back in the game so easily? That was absolutely shocking. And Bruce needs sacked just on that second half. I know we've won the game, but that should never have got that close. Credit to West Ham. They were brilliant in the second half with 10 men. They deserved the point out with the game. I felt a bit sorry for them because they worked their socks off and they had the full ball of the second half. I know we've won, but I'm really angry at that second half performance, John, and I really am, because you're supposed to manage a game. Steve Bruce has got all these years of experience that he keeps on drawing on all the time. Oh, yeah, I've been in the game this long, I've seen it. How come he couldn't set up his team to defend a 2-0 lead when you're playing against 10 men? I was appalled by it, and I think we're very lucky to get away with that game, to be honest with you. Very, very lucky.
I totally agree, man. I mean, I said to Paul and me, watch along, I'm not even angry. When that goal went, I wasn't even angry. Because at the end of the day, right, we all know what Steve Bruce must have said in the dressing room at half time. He told the players to sit back. That's what he did. Yeah. Sit back. Famiaski had nothing to do. The back four were excellent. Like you said, I thought West Ham, superb. You're talking about fight and desire. They show fight. That's exactly what they did. They show more fight than we, right? Yeah. We are an absolute joke. Our midfield is a joke, right? Shelby, poor. Longstaff, poor. We talk about the second half performance.
The second half, yes. First half, Longstaff, I thought was brilliant. But again, he's doing all the running for Shelby as well, isn't he? I mean, for someone who's meant to be able to pick passes and pick spots in the pitch where there's space, Shelby was shocking in that second half. He's supposed to be the man against 10 men who can easily keep us on the front foot. And it was just, yeah. I'm disgusted at that second half performance. I really am.
Yeah. I'm just absolutely disgusted. I mean, that's the worst second half performance I've seen for a long, long time. Even worse than Brighton. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something, right? We got the 3 points. Joe Willock, he's my midfielder. He is my midfielder, my guy, my player. He should be signed up for £20 million in the summer, sort of thing. Let's be question. And Aruda, I know you didn't watch much of our game, but I know you will type Bristol City more, obviously, but are you happy with
I can't hear you, John. I can't hear you.
Can you not hear us?
I can hear him.
But just give me 1 sec. I'll come back. I'll come back on the stream. Just give me 1 sec.
All right.
Cool.
Get on TV. I've got my little one. The missus has had to go to work, so I have to look after him. So I've got to keep an eye on him. Haven't I? He's got a nice golf ball on his head from yesterday. He decided to jump into a house. You can't win walls against brick walls, mate. Yeah. Do you want to go on the jumpy? But yeah, John, honestly, man, I don't understand what the thinking was of Steve Bruce in that second half. I really don't. Richie was brilliant again. I know he nearly cost us a goal, but he put his hands up straight away, didn't he? And he said, look, I'm sorry. I realised I didn't make the right run. I didn't cover it properly. Dubravka looked a little bit nervous, didn't he, today again? He dropped
I thought, yeah.
There was a save, wasn't it, from a header where he dropped it, didn't he? And I thought it was. I thought that was very poor of him. But yeah,
Very
I
poor.
mean, what do you think of Murphy? I thought Murphy was a lot more solid at right wing back today.
Yeah, I thought he did well today as well, and I thought he got forward really well. I thought he defended quite well. There's one or two things he needs to work on. That's definitely his defense. But listen, I thought he did play well today, man. I thought he did really well.
Yeah,
I thought.
I honestly, I was very impressed with him because I did kind of go into him a little bit in the Burnley game because I thought defensively he was very, very poor last week. But he seemed to hold himself very well. West Ham didn't really get in behind him too many times, so I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the penalty decision? Because I mean, Jesus, if that's a penalty, I mean,
it was.
I don't think it was a penalty, and I'll tell you why it's not a penalty. Because when he jumped up with his arm, he's gone up to get height with his arm, and then the West Ham defender or attacker he's got his hand on top of his head. So Clark's trying to bring his arm down to get it out the way, but he can't because it's on top of the West Ham player's head. So the ball's then hit his arm because of that. So to me, that's not a penalty because it's not hand to ball, it's ball to hand. And there's no way he can get his arm out of the way. If it was in an unnatural position, which it wasn't, or it was because somebody was stopping him from getting his arm down. So to me, you can't give a penalty for that. You've got to think about the scenario of how his arm's stuck. It's like, yeah, I mean, he didn't go to handball it, did he? I mean, it was stuck there and the ball's hit his hand. So, but again, this day and age with VAR and freezing things and stuff like that, it's shocking. I haven't seen PDP's video last night of VAR, but I really want to watch that and find out what people think of it because the people running it, they need something.
I agree. But the thing is, I looked at it again and again and again. It did hit his arm. It doesn't matter. Look at Emre Can. When Emre Can headed it in the Champions League, Ross came in, he headed it onto his hand, penalty. It hits his hand now.
That shouldn't be a penalty, or should it? I mean, you're talking ball to hand, not hand to ball. He's not deliberately trying to do it.
His arm is in an unnatural position, though, with Emre Can.
Only in an... All right, okay. Right,
his arm is like that. His arm is there, and he's headed it, and it's gone onto his arm. So that's technically a penalty because it's an unnatural position. But what do you define a natural position? Like, how is it unnatural? How is it natural? Is it because certain people when they jump, they might have their hands up, or they might just have their hands to their sides, or something like that. It's very there's a lot of grey area in that. Yeah, exactly.
But again, when you look at Kieran Clark's, he's used his arm for leverage. He hasn't gone to punch the ball or anything like that. And his arm's got stuck on the West Ham striker's head, so he can't move it. It's stuck. So that, to me, that's the reason why I don't think it should have been given. And if that penalty was given for us, it would be the exact same way as it was. Remember the Spurs game when we drew 1-1 and Wilson got the penalty? That is how bad I see that decision, and because that was never a penalty then as well when we snatched that draw, and I openly put my hands up and said that's never a pen, and I don't think that one was either.
I didn't watch the pen actually. I was too busy watching Bristol City eke out a draw at Hillsborough. But yeah.
Oh, did he get a draw?
I don't know how that happened. Literally, I have no idea how. I
had Sheffield Wednesday in Super 6.
I was going to say, I've got a couple of comments here. I've got Sam here. You both done as a massive feel I had a day. And Sam, we did. I think West Ham might have blown a chance after that defeat. And if you
support
Sam, he supports Chelsea.
Yeah, we've definitely done them a massive favour.
Davey, I sent Davey a link. Dave, I sent you a link, mate. I mean, I just sent about 2 minutes ago. So
Dave, just check Twitter, check our pages. That we've tweeted the link out. Do you know what I mean? It's not difficult.
I'll put the link out again.
Yeah, put the link out again. We've tweeted out to
Yeah,
everyone, so there's no reason why you can't find it. There's no need to ask about coming on the show. The whole idea of this is to drop in by following the instructions that we send out on Twitter. So
exactly. You call us, we get you. Simple as that.
Exactly.
So shall I get Dave on now? Is he ready to rock? I'll get him on, yeah?
You'll see him in the background if he's there. Get him on.
So what? I'll get Dave
in the background.
There you go. There he is. How's Davey? How's Dave? You okay?
Dave.
Yeah. I'm all right now after that performance. But that I don't know how you can say that as a penalty.
I agree.
You see, his hand. How can he get his hand out the way? His head's in the way. So it's not in a natural position.
Yeah, I completely agree, David. I don't think it was a penalty. I think the referee looked at the stills, saw the ball hit his arm, and give a penalty because of that. He's not thought about the situation and how his arm's stuck on his head. All he's seen is ball hit arm. I'm giving a penalty, and that's why VR is terrible this season, because people using it and running it don't understand football at times, and that's a sad thing to say.
But I could understand if he could get his hand down.
Yeah, if you had his arm up that completely, then yeah, I completely agree it's a penalty. But his arm was stuck on the West Ham striker's head, wasn't it? He couldn't move it.
You know, the handball situation needs to be sorted out. You know, what is an unnatural position?
Exactly.
Well, unnatural for me would be him
right,
punching it, wouldn't it? It's like that going out and hitting the ball. I don't know.
So that's unnatural position of how Henry Lansbury got sent off today. He put his arms out like that. Yeah. He put his arms like that, and it hit his arm. So that's why he got sent off. That's clearly an unnatural position because his arms are like completely there. Yeah. But what the opposing view would be, he's on the bar, so he might just try and like catch the bar. If you've seen it, you'll understand. Yeah. But I've not actually seen the Kieran Clark incident, so I'm not going to comment because I can't really.
Sam, did you watch the game, Barry?
I watched the whole thing.
Right. Did you see how his arm was bent on his head?
Yeah. It's not a penalty. He's used his arm for leverage. It's got stuck on top of the West Ham player's head, and then the ball's hit his arm, not his hand hitting the ball. I mean, he even got his head on it as well. So I don't. It's just this whole handball scenario and situation needs to be updated. It needs to be looked at. Well, it has been looked at, and they've changed the rules, haven't they? After what happened with Andy Carroll in at the Spurs game, because all Andy Carroll did was head the ball down onto his player's arm, and then the penalty was given, which was shocking because we would have seen about 15 penalties every game, wouldn't we, if they kept those rules in place? But I just don't think it's a pen. I think we're very lucky to have won the game. No. What are your thoughts on the rest of the 90 minutes, other than the penalty decision, Dave?
Yeah, we played some decent football. It's just the second half will come out like loose ball again.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe that second half, wasn't it?
What does he say to them players at half time? Because it's not inspiring the team whatsoever.
Nope. I think they've come in the second half trying to defend the 2-0 lead. I really do. I think they've got Bruce is nervous, thinking, Jesus, we're 2-0 up with 10 men. I can't lose this game now. And if we win the game, we're safe. And they've literally froze when they've come out. And like you say, whatever Bruce said, it's not inspired them to go and try and kill the game off. You know, you bring Wilson on to do that. But again, even when Wilson came on, he was isolated up front by himself, wasn't he? Sack him. Just sack him. I'm sick of him now.
I would have just kept the team the same way it is. You know, we were doing fine the way they were playing.
He had to take ASM off though because he wasn't he? He wasn't fit to play the full 90 minutes. So
I understand taking Wilson off and bringing on Wilson and bringing on.
So taking ASM off and bringing Wilson on, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that one. But what I don't understand is he blew Andy Carroll on for how many minutes?
Well,
Minutes.
that game was just a waste time at the end of the game. That's all that was for. He made the right change in bringing Willock on, but personally, and there's a lot of our fans say he should be starting in front of Shelby. And Shelby didn't inspire me in that second half where he should have. Shelby should have run that game with playing against 10 men. I mean, that's what Shelby's meant to be good at.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any of it. I'm on a bit of a rant after that second half. We won the game, and we're 9 points ahead of Fulham now. We're probably safe, and I'm still so angry and disappointed that we played that hard. And I mean, we've been saying it for weeks, haven't we, John? Performance doesn't matter as long as we win. But when you're playing against 10 men, it's like, well, there should be a performance in there as well, shouldn't there?
I totally agree. I mean, we had to use our brain a little bit playing against 10 men. Yeah, just go for the first half. It was absolutely outstanding. First half, can't go wrong. But the second half, where is that performance from the first half? But the second half, I didn't see it. The fact of the matter is, I agree with you. It's just boost bar yet again. I mean, I'm going to be real here. I think that performance, apart from the goal, was an absolute disgrace. That performance, shocking. I mean, Joe Willock,
their first goal was offside.
Starting from the game.
No, it wasn't offside. They put the lines down, mate. They all looked at it. It wasn't offside. You can't argue against the goal, I'm afraid. And it was coming as well. It was. I think Kabaka should have saved it.
I thought his hand looked offside.
Hand doesn't count. It's half of your arm. It's half of your arm, so your hand doesn't count. Can't score with your hand, so it's not involved. It's the upper part of your arm.
You can't score with your armpit, but that's where it's going off.
You can. You can score with your armpit. You can't score with anything above the elbow. You can score with. Anything below the elbow, you can't. And that's where they puts the lines
you can
down.
score with your shoulder.
Yes, of course you can.
It's crazy, man. Absolutely. David, I'll ask you the question. Do you think we can sign Joe Willock on a permanent deal now? For me, maybe yes.
Yes.
Whatever the cost. Because for me, Joe Willock is my midfielder. He's my player, my midfielder. And I'll tell you what, he should be starting every single game from now on. Drop Shelby, right? I think Shelby, for me, second half was poor. Very, very poor. Yeah.
But Shelby offers nothing. Every game he played, he offers nothing.
He doesn't.
How he's captain is beyond me, because if you think about that first half, he got a yellow after 14 minutes for an absolute stupid challenge just because he wasn't fast enough to keep up with a West Ham player. He put himself in danger of getting sent off. I would have took him off at half time, to be honest with you, just because of how stupid he is at times. He should be captain. Give the captain's armband to Matt Ritchie or Dubravka, or even Paul Dummett.
Fernandes. All day long.
Oh, Fernandes, yeah, he was brilliant again today, wasn't he?
Wasn't he just mount at the back? He wins everything in it.
My captain, I think it should go to Jacob Murphy.
Nah, no, I don't agree. He's too young. He's too young. Nah, too young. When you've got Dubravka, Ritchie, and Fernandes in the team, they're way ahead of Jacob Murphy. I know Jacob Murphy's
a young captain can inspire and inspire people.
I get what you're saying, but there's people above him in the pecking order. I can't see that ever happening, to be honest with you.
I understand why people pick Matt Ritchie, but no, I just think give Jacob Murphy a go.
I don't think he's got the voice in the dressing room to be able to do it, to be honest with you. Matt Ritchie has. Matt Ritchie shouts at players on the pitch, even though he's not captain. He organises his side of the pitch. He does it so well. For me, he should be captain in front of everyone. And look how well we've played since he's come back into the team. He's been absolutely outstanding. No, again, he's there to score goals. Just let him get on with his job.
Did you not have captain at Bournemouth?
I don't think so.
No, that was Steve Cook, Bournemouth.
Wow.
But I was going to say, Davey, do you think now we won that game today? Do you think we've done enough to stay up, or would you look at West Brom turning it around?
No, I think we've done enough to stay up now. What 9 points? 9 points.
9 points clear now.
9 points. clear.
You're still going down.
We're not going down. We're not even close to going down now. There is no way Fulham are going to get 9 points, and we're not going to get at least another 1 or 3
Scott
points.
Parker magic. Scott Parker magic.
Scott Parker's down, man. He's in the Championship next season.
Don't underestimate Scott Parker.
Annie, look at Fulham's fixtures, and you tell me where they're getting 9 points from.
Burnley, Newcastle,
That's it.
and 3 more points. They'll get 3 draws or something.
No way on this earth is Fulham going to get 3 points from us the way we played today. No way on this earth.
Probably not.
You can have Bobby Decmo Reed. You can have Alexander Mitchell.
Don't underestimate Bobby Reed. Bristol City, born and bred. He is literally gold. He's.
You can have Joe Bryan. You can have a full 25-man squad, and we'll still beat them.
Slandering good players, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's how poor Fulham really are.
Unbelievable slandering.
I'd be more worried about West Brom than Fulham.
I agree.
Because Sam Allardyce is a magic worker, but they're 11 points behind us. So
yeah,
I think it's now Burnley and Brighton.
Yeah, I believe so. I think we're safe. I really do. That was the win we needed.
Now, with the games we've got coming up, we've got Liverpool away, Arsenal home. Leicester away. Fancy home.
If we can get a point at Liverpool, if we can get a point at Anfield, I think that would be safe.
I don't think we're getting a point at Anfield. I don't think we're getting anything against Man City. I don't think we're getting anything against Leicester. But I think we're going to beat Arsenal at home.
That's all we keep on saying. But that's what we said about we weren't going to get nothing against West Ham, but we got 3 points.
Yeah, but this is Liverpool. Liverpool are challenging for top 4. Remember.
Obviously, there are caveats to this win. Obviously, there are massive caveats to this win. 10 men, goalkeeping mistakes, defensive mistakes.
But that's not our problem.
Yeah, but we're not going to get that against Liverpool, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to get defensive mistakes. We're not going to get goalkeeping mistakes. We're not going to get. We'll probably play against 10 men. That's the last time we'll play against 10 men in the season. We were very, very lucky today. Very, very lucky. We were poor in that second half, and we're not going to get a point against Liverpool. Really not. Arsenal at home is our next game where we're going to realistically get a point or 3 points, because I think Arsenal are poor this season. And then we'll beat Sheffield United as well. So they're 4 points. That gives us 13. There's no way we're getting caught now.
I said 2 points. After Spurs, I said 2 points for you to stay up. No, after Burnley, sorry, I said 2 points for Newcastle to stay up. They've got 3.
So yeah,
you've got 3 now, so I think you're safe.
Yeah,
it'll be close. It's going to be close, and
no, it's down to Burnley and Brighton now. You know, if
I think it all depends what happens today. I tell you what, if Fulham get a result today, then I'll start worrying again. Let's wait till all the fixtures are finished. If this weekend, once Fulham have got beat, then we're safe. 100% safe if Fulham get beat.
But who's Fulham got the day?
Arsenal away.
Playing tomorrow, Arsenal away. And the only reason why I'm worried about that game, again, because Arsenal played in Europe on Thursday. They've got another UEFA Cup game coming up soon. They might rest their players and think we're not going to do anything in the league, and that gives Fulham a slim chance. So I'm not counting my chickens with Fulham against Arsenal, because I think we'll beat Arsenal for those exact reasons. So if Arsenal could do us a favour and beat Fulham on Sunday, we are safe. If Fulham get a result against Arsenal, it's all back in the bullpen again.
But by the way, just before we continue, congratulations to Norwich for getting promoted today.
And they're promoted, are they? So first or second, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I think they need 3 more points to confirm the title, because Watford lost today.
Oh God, that's a big result.
Watford lost in the derby to Luton.
Oof. Yeah, so there you are then. Congratulations to Norwich for getting promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done to Norwich. I've got to try and get a Norwich City fan on sometime, couple of days time, next couple of days, get them on there and chat to them and see how they're going to get on. So that's for another day. So, David, anything sort of say to us, mate?
No, not really. But just my man of the match has to go to Max, man.
Max.
Yeah, he was brilliant in the first half.
Even Joe Linton.
Big Joe.
Oh God, no, he was crap.
Done well. He's done well.
He did all right in the first half.
Not my guy, but he's done well.
You said you
That is not
tweeted
my
out
guy.
saying you tweeted out saying my guy Joe Linton.
Yeah,
You
that's
tweeted
it.
out saying my guy Joe Linton. I'm proving that. I don't care. I'm proving this.
Yeah, I've done it, but I did say oops.
Exactly.
He did put oops after it though, so that's fair enough.
David, thanks for coming on. And,
Cheers, David.
Thanks for coming on, and just go and celebrate and enjoy the afternoon, man. Catch you later.
I will do.
Take care. So,
John, who was your man of the match?
or it could be. I thought Fernandez played well. I got to go ASM. I think just ASM.
So yeah, he didn't play the full 90 minutes. I know he did well in the second half, and he was the reason why we scored the first goal. But I would give it to Fernandez for how solid he was. And
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got
I know Kevin Clark gave away the penalty, but I thought Kevin Clark was excellent as well. He put his body on the line. ASM will always get the plaudits because he created the first goal, even though it was an own goal. And when going forward, he looked excellent. But I think Fernandez deserves it today.
Yeah, I thought Fernandez at the back was outstanding. It's going between him and ASM, but I'll go along with that sort of thing. And I thought Fernandez defended first half. ASM first half excellent. I thought Joe did well. I thought Amir was okay, but second half, poor. And then Joe Willock turned the game for us. But yeah, like to say about you and Ruda. I mean, obviously you haven't seen much of the game today, but you think Newcastle will stay up? Yeah, do you think Newcastle will stay up, or do you think Fulham will turn in?
You need to watch our
I
games
think...
if you want to come on the show. You need to watch the 90 minutes, mate.
I'm addicted to Bristol City. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. Bristol City is just my life.
You put the Bristol City game on your laptop and you put the Newcastle game on your phone. I mean, come on, it's easy.
No.
You've got to do it.
No.
You've got to do it.
Bristol City all the way. I mean,
no. He loves Bristol City. Bless him. And guys, anyone's calling me sure, anyone want to have their say, please let us know. Leave the comment sections down below. I send you a link, and then you can come on and have your say. So I want to talk about.
And send the link out again and copy us all in it so people can know what's going on. I can't do this. I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
My laptop's been an absolute nightmare.
John, you can put the link in the comments so people can join through there.
I think that's a good idea.
If I do that, I'm gonna have to find a link there, sort of thing. So
you just have to press invite and then copy the link and then
invite, copy, and then that's what I'm gonna do. Do it on post it on Twitter or post it on here.
Post it on here. Yeah.
Do I try that and hopefully that may come.
Do you know what it is, guys? I've been sneezed and I've put my bloody shoulder out. My sneezes are powerful.
There you go. There's the link. The link's in the description. Click on that, and then I'll invite you in. If you fancy having a chat and have you see West Ham fans as well, if you want to come on, do so. Get off your chest as well. Just looking at Steve now, I can't hear what you say. But going to West Ham, right? I mean, we said second half they were absolutely fantastic, and second half they had a goal, they fought for their lives, got 2 goals back. They must be kicking themselves considering that late goal from Willock sort of thing, and that knocked the stuff out of them, that goal. And I think, do you think they're going to bounce back from this? And
I think I think they'll be fine. I think they'll finish top 5 at least, because David Moyes won't let them cry over this too much, per se, because he's not that kind of manager. He'll keep them going. He'll know this is a blip, because they were unlucky with the 10 men. They showed a lot of character coming back 2-0 down with 10 men, even if Newcastle did help them a bit. Unlucky because Fabianski and Issa Diop were very out of character, and then they lose one of their main centre-backs as well. So yeah, I think there's a lot of caveats, and I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll carry on from this.
I thought Souček was absolutely outstanding for West Ham today. He was absolutely brilliant. He was everywhere on that pitch. I mean, considering they haven't got a striker and they were missing Declan Rice as well, who's been absolutely phenomenal this season, that second half performance, they looked like they had their man advantage. It was such a hard watch, and when I got the equaliser, I was just luckily, because I've got the little in, I couldn't smash the house up, to be fair, because that's how angry I was getting with it, because we should never have let a 2-goal lead slip. But that just shows you how poor Bruce is as a manager. It shows you how good David Moyes is. We all said at the start of the season we wouldn't take Moyes, and now look at what they're doing. It's absolutely mental. You know, Mike Ashley's made 2 absolute horrific decisions again as Newcastle chairman, as an owner. Didn't sign Jared Bowen, who looks a phenomenal player now in the Premier League. He looks excellent. And he couldn't get the loan deal for Jesse Lingard over the door. And look how he scored 8 goals for West Ham. 9 goals since he's gone there. Absolutely superb. And they were very lucky not to get away with a point. When they actually equalised, I said they were going to go on and win it. And if a very uncharacteristic goal to give away for West Ham, that third goal, because Willock's not exactly 6'5", is he? And when he's going up against those West Ham defenders, I didn't expect him to win that header, but it showed you how much desire that young man's got to get into the box and put the ball away. So absolutely fantastic. Oh man, Pete.
Pete, my guys.
He's doing.
Pete, I'm doing absolutely.
Are you really angry after seeing that second half performance?
Oh, I mean, why do we do this to ourselves a lot of the time? I mean, I'm delighted with the win, but it was nervy as well. Where did they get 8 minutes from as well? I mean, that was shocking as well.
Delay for the penalty.
Head injury, delay for the penalty, and there was a few other injuries as well, wasn't there? Was Fernandez who was changing his boots. That took about 3-4 minutes, didn't it? So, yeah, it all. I expected 5-6 minutes. When he put 8 up, I just thought, here we go.
I thought we dominated the first half there, I must say.
Yeah, we did.
ESM was just lightning once again. I must say, I thought West Ham were very shocking at the back. I must say, the day as well.
Who's Connor Marshall? Come on, Connor Marshall, if he wants to come on.
Yeah,
I think he's a Norwich fan. I'm not sure.
I thought Richie was solid again, apart from when he made that one mistake and put his hands up for it. At least that's shown responsibility. That's why I'd like to see him as captain. You know.
Yeah.
It was just, again, Shelvey just looked like a passenger in that second half, didn't he? I mean,
we need Willock starting against Liverpool. 100% he deserves to start as well. Shelvey needs taken out the side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even on Twitter, people were calling to get Miggy off, and I thought, well, why? He's absolutely running around everywhere. You got to remember, he's running around.
I thought Miggy did well to take it on players.
That little nutmeg down the right when he played in Joe Linton to cross it in for, well, I would say cross it in for Wilson, cross it into far corner flag, more like it.
So, Pete, I mean, obviously 1 3 goals to 2 today. First half, excellent. Second half, very, very poor. Again, a lot of tweets come out here saying that Steve Bruce needs to be given a rip a new one on that performance, second half performance. What do you think?
I mean, well, what does he say to them at half time? That is the thing. It sounds like it's the total opposite to, continue what the performance you put on in the first half.
Exactly. absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I mean, the thing is, right, we could have not won. We couldn't lost that game today. We could have lost that game today. They had Declan Rice or the bigger players in the team. But for me, I thought we got away with that one today. I mean, you can't let 10 men have a go at you. And we allowed that to happen. This is the point. Big Bruce, for me, he should be, like you said earlier on, he should be sacked for that.
I was on a championship YouTuber's channel today. Not on the video, but in the chat, and he said that Steve Bruce has done. He's a good manager, but he's just no. He said he's a good manager and he really likes him, but he just British managers get a lot of stick because they're not some fancy new sexy European manager with a high caliber from Italy or Spain or somewhere. And in a way, I think he's right. In a way, but
you can't have the record that Bruce has got this season of winning. He's won 4 games in 24 now. No other manager in the Premier League would survive that. That statistic is shocking and terrible. That is why he deserves to get sacked. Not because of who he is, not because he's English, not because he's not a fancy Italian or French manager or anything like that. Purely on results and statistics and performances, Bruce deserves to be sacked. He should have been sacked a long time ago. It's just we have an inapt owner who doesn't know how to run a football club, and that's the reason why Steve has still got a job and could even be offered a new contract because this guy hasn't know what he's doing. Exactly. And then,
you know what it is. You know what it is, right? I'm not being funny, but can you imagine Bruce gets a new contract? Then it tells us everything they need to know about the club. I mean, he should have got sacked 2 years ago. I agree with you. He should have gone after Liverpool last season, right? He's lost the dressing room. Let's be real about it, right? He had arguments with the players, and yet this owner is still backing Bruce. Any other manager or any other club, he'd be gone. No doubt about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
gone ages ago.
Early hops in Newcastle United, and we are the laughing stock of the Premier League, right? And I'll tell you something now. He signs that new deal, we are done.
Yeah, we're down next season if he signs a new deal because there's no money to spend, and that means he's got to try and get the best out of the players we've got, which he can't do. It's obvious he can't.
No.
Well, that's not necessarily true because Steve Bruce has done this before, keeping the likes of Wigan up, keeping the likes of Sunderland up in the Premier League with minimal, and I mean minimal resources.
But he's had 110 million to spend, and he's just kept us up. With the players we've got, we should be sitting in fourth position.
Look at the quality he's bought, though. Look at Jamal Lewis, still coming through. Joe Linton, whatever, been a bust. Saint-Maximin, been a very good player.
Wilson.
Jeff Hendrick,
Fraser, Jeff Hendrick, shocking.
Yeah, Jeff Hendrick on a free, even though the wages are. They're not high, but they're okay. Callum Wilson has been excellent signing. Fraser has been a good squad player, and apart from that, he's done well in the transfer market. It's just
but why are we sitting fourth?
Why are we sitting?
The team which was there, which he inherited from Rafa Benitez, was the likes of Shelby, Kraft, Andy Carroll, and people like that.
Andy Carroll was nowhere near that team when Rafa was in charge. Nowhere near it.
Yeah, but he had to sell Rondon though, didn't he? He had to sell Rondon. He had to play Dwight Gale.
Rondon was on loan.
Yeah, sorry, he had to let go. He didn't have Rondon there, did he? So
yeah, but he could have though. He could have. He could have had Rondon. Instead of spending 40 million on Joe Linton, no, Rondon would have stayed. If Newcastle stumped up the money of 18.5 million, Rondon would be a Newcastle player still.
But he wanted to go to Rafa Benitez, didn't he?
He didn't.
But he wanted to.
He didn't.
But why would he move to China to Rafa Benitez though?
Because there was no other offer. Because there was no other offer.
He didn't want to pay the money for him.
Exactly. You're not listening, Annie. Right? We didn't want to pay £18 million for a player his age, even though he was a player last season, and he was our top goal scorer. Mike Ashley said, we're going to get Joe Linton instead because he's 23 At 40 million, he could then increase his price if he's good as what the scouts say he was. And it was an absolute disgrace of a signing in the end. Rondon would have been a Newcastle player. He wanted to play for Newcastle, but we didn't want to pay the fee. And this is where the problem is. We also had to sell Perez as well. So where's all the money gone? That's what I want to know as well.
Yeah, you wonder.
Wilson, Sir Maximan, wages on Hendrick, wages for Shelby.
So you're saying that's all the money for the likes of Sissoko when we sold them as well?
No, that's completely different.
Well.
That's completely different. When you got relegated.
It's accumulation of money. It's accumulation of money that we have. If you look at Rafa Benitez's net spend of 1.5 million a season, it shows you there's money gone missing from our club, and that's because Ashley's been taken out. It's as simple as that. We know what we're talking about. Trust me. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Annie. You, West Ham, according to John Joe Shelby, don't have as good a squad as what Newcastle have. West Ham 4th in the league, and we are 4th bottom. Explain that.
He is wrong.
Is he?
But what I would say is West Ham are definitely overachieving. West Ham are definitely overachieving.
Why are they overachieving?
Because they've got a good manager.
Bingo! We've got crap one. That's why we're sitting 4th bottom, and that's why you should be sacked. So I'm sorry, Annie. That's checkmate if we're playing chess.
Well, we have moved 2 places higher.
We are moving places higher.
What?
That shows what a good manager can do with a squad of players if he actually gives them the right messages, nurtures them, improves them. Steve Bruce done neither to all our players.
Also,
you mentioned Jamal Lewis. He's gone backwards since he came to Newcastle.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I would say he's improving. I'd say he's improving. But I think he's learning it along the way.
Sean Longstaff? Matty Longstaff?
Gone backwards. Matty Longstaff had a good season last season, to be honest. I thought, especially with that goal at Man United, I think he had a good season last.
But then he dropped them and he dropped out of the squad. He wasn't even on the bench today.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason.
Why did I sign that 2-year contract?
Yeah.
That's another thing with Bruce. He only picks experienced players. He trusts the experienced players. He doesn't want to risk it with the youngsters.
But this is the other problem we've got.
We need to stop letting these youngsters in and give them opportunity, because I think some of those are far too good for the under 23 side.
But look at it as well, though. You're saying Steve Bruce trusts the older players, but we've got an owner who wants to buy younger players to then nurture them through to sell them on for bigger fees. You've got the wrong manager in the wrong job then. So we're screwed.
Average age of Newcastle for today was 28.4, same as West Ham. But look where West Ham are. But if you look at a Brighton whose squad is much younger at 27, which is quite significant actually. They're performing lower when they're playing younger players. So I think Bruce is using Lewis and the likes of Lewis and Longstaff and not exposing them too much, but also giving them an opportunity at the same time. And if they are under the firing line of Newcastle fans or the media, I think he takes them out to just like protect them a bit. So I think that's also a bit. I think that's pretty good. I think that's what Bruce has done with the youngsters there. I think is good. But when you play the youngsters too much, you might go backwards, like a Brighton, like a Fulham, like a West Brom, even who've played youngsters all season and have gone backwards.
But he's only just started putting the senior players back in, though, hasn't he? And that's why we started performing. I don't think he's took them out firing line. I think he's dropped them. He's had to bring Richie back in because Richie's been crying out to get into the team. Richie gives
110% on that pitch, and he's a grafter, and that's what I like about Matt Ritchie.
Yeah.
And he should be given the captain's armband, not bloody Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we need legs in that midfield, and that's why Shelby should be dropped for maybe not a younger player, but for someone who can actually get around the pitch. Because
exactly.
There was so many times again, even though they had 10 men, I saw the ball come out of, like when we're attacking, come out of the box around about the centre circle, and there was no midfield. I was thinking, where the hell are they? And then West Ham were picking the ball up and going forward, and I was thinking, well, who's got 10 men? Because it looks like we have.
That's what Bruce will do, though. He'll sit in. He'll not attack while you're 2-0 up. That's just mental for Steve Bruce.
But then if you're sitting in, you should have players covering that section of the field. It was right through the spine.
No. West Ham, after they went down to 10 men, they didn't make a substitution. They stuck with a back four, and dropped Cresswell and Kufal, making it a back 4-4-1. They still kept the midfield. They still kept the attack. They didn't change. They didn't actually change the higher end of the pitch. They just kept it as it was. So I think that's a bit harsh because they didn't change the midfield, and I think that would have been the same. So I think that's what you said is a bit unfair.
How was it unfair, though? I was complaining about how Newcastle should have had players in the field to pick up loose balls from when West Ham were clearing it. When we've got the extra man, we should be able to be on the front foot and be high up the pitch. So when the ball was coming out of their box, West Ham players were picking it up. We weren't. There was no one in sight. That's Shelby's and Longstaff's job. That's Shelby's and Sean Longstaff's job is the two sitting midfielders. One of them has got to be protecting the back four or back five, whatever you want to call it, and picking those balls up when they come out. There was too many times when the ball was cleared and the West Ham player was there first. That shouldn't happen, especially considering we weren't really committing men forward, were we, Pete?
No, that's the thing. I mean, you can tell the midfield has definitely become one of the weakest spots at the moment. And as I mentioned, well, Shelby's legs have gone now. Yeah. And that's a player we need to now move on at the end of the season. Yeah.
And Raphael moved him on 2 years ago.
We tried to get rid of him a couple of years ago, and apparently he didn't want to leave Newcastle because there's 80,000 reasons why he don't want to leave Newcastle because he's on that sort of money a week. And you know what it is, right? With the big fat mugs, they gave him that new 3-year deal, right? And he's on £70,000 a week. So, fact is, we'll talk about Ryan Fraser quickly. Do you think he's done at Newcastle? Do you think his career's done?
No.
Have you read the news about him?
I did read the news about this. The latest news. What's the latest news?
Well, all the stuff on Twitter is apparently he's fit. He's just not fancying it again like he did at Bournemouth. So there's a very good chance.
Thing is, if he's got an attitude, if he's got an attitude for that, then that is another player I wouldn't mind saying goodbye to as well. We've had far too many of those players in the past. Honestly, we really have.
The thing is, because he's all been unfit, hasn't he?
Championship's waiting, Ryan. You know, we're always here. We can always pick up free transfers. You know, it's wouldn't mind him. You know, he's okay. I mean, yeah.
Listen, honest there is. I think he's a damn good player. He really is. He's direct. He's got lovely both feet. Scores. But I don't want anyone at my club with attitude like he has, or anyone for that matter. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame.
No, we've had too
many. He showed it for Scotland, though, didn't he? You play him in the right position, he plays well.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. He just didn't want to be at Newcastle. He didn't want to come to Newcastle. John Gibson hit it on the head. He said that he's done it for Scotland. He scored twice in 2 games for Scotland. But when it comes to Newcastle, right, his attitude is so damn wrong. Listen to John Gibson, right? Talking about Ryan Fraser. He has absolutely ripped him the good one, I'm telling you. And I had to stood up and clap to him because his attitude, he doesn't want to be at Newcastle. He wanted to go to Spurs, Liverpool, or Arsenal. He only came to us.
They didn't want him there. I mean, I know Spurs were sniffing around for a little while, weren't they? But then they looked at his attitude at Bournemouth for how he refused to play. You know, I thought it was a great signing, but now it's all looking back to that kind of scenario again. Is he doing the same thing he did for Bournemouth, refusing to play because he doesn't want to get injured?
I think with that attitude, he wouldn't survive in the Championship. Not with the managers that are currently there, anyways.
Yeah, man. So, what can I say? So, Pete, is anything else you want to say to us, mate? Before I get Connor in, or
I'm just delighted just delighted with the win. 3 points. It does put us more towards safety, but I think now it's just getting the points now and see where we are going to be throughout the rest of the season now. I think what's in the bottom 3 is now going to be go now, I would say.
Yeah.
No.
One other thing you got to let it go. Who's your man on the match today?
I'm torn between St. Maximin or Richie because I thought they were excellent. I think I'm just going to go with ASM because the way he just went at West Ham in the first half and their defence just could not handle him at all. They really, really couldn't. So I think I've got to go with St. Maximin.
Class,
yeah,
that.
I agree.
Good call. Listen, Pete, I'll catch you up on Monday, but thanks so much for coming on. And
no problem. Looking forward to Monday as always. I'm sure Chippers will be.
Can't wait.
I'm sure Chippers will be with his dirty old comments.
Yeah. And good one, man. Have a good one, man. And I can't wait for Monday.
Yes, see you later.
See you later. I'm going to bring on the new caller, a new fan here, and it's Connor.
Yeah.
And a Newcastle fan, or is he a Newcastle fan?
Connor, welcome.
Hello, John. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, of course I'm a Newcastle fan. Look at the shirt I'm wearing.
I know. I thought someone said what else?
Yeah, that's a 1994, 95 shit. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, correct. Yes, partner. Yeah. I heard something about being a Norwich fan earlier.
I know. I just saying that you got promoted, sort of thing. So, I mean, you got Anirudh, Bristol City fan, and but listen, Connor, you got you with me and Newcastle. Wow, 3, West Ham 2. Wow, Connor, mad game, and you know what it is, right? I mean, when we put at the 2 stage, I thought we dropped 2 points. It feels like a defeat, and when Joe Willett came back, scored that head and goal, I thought, thank God for him. He just put us back on track. Connor, talk to me, man.
You know, yeah, I've got to say straight away, you've hit the nail on the head there with Joe Willock. I mean, he's repeated the same fate 2 games in a row now. And the result of that's probably going to be Jeff Hendrick 5-year contract, and we're probably not going to sign Joe Willock as Newcastle go, you know. But man, he's just 22 years old. He's young. He's full of it. He's got energy. He attacks. He scores goals. But you know Newcastle as well. I know Newcastle job. We're probably going to go with Jeff Hendrick. You know, it's just a disaster. But he's just a player that we need to snap up, like we really do.
Yeah, especially he's a national player, isn't he? Because he's 22. If we sign him for 20 million, and if he does well, he could end up going for 30 or 40 and making him a profit if there's no takeover. Mm-hmm. So it really is a no-brainer if the money's there. You know the weird thing about Hendrick, we obviously slay him because I think he's absolutely crap as well. But I spoke to a West Ham fan last night, and he's Irish, and he's got a mate who knows Jeff Hendrick very well, and he rates him so highly. I don't understand it, but apparently there is a player there. We've just not seen it, but we can't keep giving him chance after chance after chance, can we? Have thrown up the crap that he's been thrown up. So, I mean, I would get rid of him. I would sell him for 5 million if we can get the money.
Probably wouldn't get 5 million. Like I've got to say though, I mean, I'm more than willing to give any player a chance. Any player, I mean, I'll watch them. I'll see if they've got the effort. I'll see if they've got the ability. But I've seen neither from Jeff Hendrick. I've seen 60% of the season. I've sat and watched, and I've got to turn, and I've got to say, I forgot he was playing at every game. And it's, I like I say, I'll give every player a chance, but he just disappears in games, and you cannot afford to have that in the Premier League. You just cannot.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. I mean, Connor.
John. I think I need to be off now because I need to upload to record my video for Bristol City. So yeah, I'm going to be off now.
I'll be watching as well, man. And thanks for coming.
Well, I'll see you later, Robin.
Yeah.
No
problem.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to say. So, Connor, I was going to just say quickly. I was going to say, like today, over in 132. I mean, I want to talk about, I'll come to face in a minute, but Federico Fernandez, right? I mean, since he's came back, he's been a giant and he's been absolutely fantastic for me. I thought he's been so well. Good on his head, lost no great on his toes, but good on the heat sort of thing. Mountain, just gets out of the way and he just deals with it.
He's an all right ball player as well. I think he's good with his feet.
Yeah.
Better than Klopp.
Yeah. I've got to say, when we signed him, my grandfather, he's a big Newcastle fan. when we're signing from Swansea, he said to me, "We've signed that Fernandez from Swansea," and I said, I don't rate him, Granted. I says they went down Swansea, they've been relegated. I says he's not stood out for me. But I've got every game he's played for us. He's been, as you said, John, an absolute rock. Just no nonsense defender. He likes to bully other players as well, which is what you need in your team as well. You need someone who's going to push the other team around, who's going to dominate the game. He's really got a presence in that back line. If the ball comes into the box, you know he's going to fight for that ball. You know he's going to take no nonsense. Yeah. Clark is a fantastic defender. Shaw's got certain attributes as well that are highly rated. But Fernandez, he's the whole package as a defender. Not quick by any means, as I think we found out away to Sheffield United when he got sent off via that tussle with Billy Sharp. But he will fight till the end, and that's, for me as a fan, that's all you want. You want a player who will fight, and he's got a bit of ability there as well.
Yeah. I was buzzing when we signed Fernandez, to be honest with you. I thought we got a cracking player. I think your son's what he wants to get on the show in the background there, mate.
He wants more Easter egg. He's had enough Easter egg.
Oh, you should have had them eaten ages ago, man.
Too many. But yes, I regret saying what I said now, because as I've seen Fernandez week in, week out, wow, what a player.
Top defender. I think he's got it himself, to be honest with you, if you ask me as well. But I look at we talked about ASM. I think he had a fantastic first half. I thought absolutely brilliant for me. And I mean, you've got to keep Joe Willock now. We've got to sign him up in the summer for £20 million. You know what I mean? I'd get rid of Shelby or Henrik and to make room for this guy, because for me, he's my player. Get him signed up. I think Joe Willock, what's that, 3 goals since he's been on loan? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just that, but that movement in the middle of the park as well. I hate to keep going back to Henrik and Shelby to a lesser extent, but they don't have the legs for it anymore. You know what I mean? They're nearing 30, or they are already at that 30 mark, and you need mobility in there in the centre. I mean, you can afford maybe one player and maybe not have the pace, but quite often you find Shelby and Henrik starting alongside each other, and 2 players with such lack of movement, you're going to be found out, as we have been found out so far in the league.
Very quickly. And
that's a good question, by the way. Who would win between a fight between Bruce and Moyes? I put all my money on Moyes.
I think Moyes could have the Glasgow edge. I think it might be Glasgow he's from. So yeah, he's from Scotland anyway, and I wouldn't fight anyone from Scotland.
5'11", Bruce is 6 foot, so I'll still go with Moyes to meet all day long. But you go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Joe Linton very quickly. I mean, how do you think he did today? Really well today.
I was a bit, I was questioning it a bit when I seen him in the lineup. I thought, Callum Wilson, I mean, get your finishers in there, get your top goal scorer in there, get him in there. I mean, if ASM's starting, why? I mean, he was brave enough to send him off the bench against Burnley. Why is he not brave enough to start him? That's what I thought. But he didn't do bad. I mean, he didn't do bad. He didn't do anything particularly wrong. I mean, he got chopped down when he was going through on goal by Dawson, which inevitably led to the red. He didn't do too much wrong, but you just felt every time he got the ball, if Wilson had got the ball, he would have done a lot more with it. He would have turned his man. He would have looked forward. But Joe Linton, he does a job, but he doesn't do that next thing. He doesn't turn his man. He doesn't burst forward with pace. He doesn't shrug off the defender. He just plays the simple ball, doesn't he? He plays it to the man next to him. He plays it back to the person he's facing. It's a difficult one, because you want to see the lad do well, as I think the majority of Newcastle fans want to see him do well. And I heard the commentator say, "Oh, he's got the ability. He would bang them in Germany." I think he only got 8 or 9 goals in Germany. I don't think
he did have a great record.
Exactly, yeah, Bazaar, yeah. It's a difficult one. Yeah, you want to see him do well. He did a job today, as I'm sure he would do, but going forward for a Premier League team, he's not your starter. He's maybe the impact sub. But it's a difficult one, John, I've got to say. Yeah.
I thought he did all right in the first 45 minutes. He did, like you said, a good job, didn't he? I mean, he got a goal, which was very lucky because the goalkeeper dropped it, but he was in the right place at the right time. So But he was told to stand on the goalkeeper just in case anything dropped to him. So I mean, you're not missing from 2 yards, are you? But,
no. But previously, you would think, Joe Linton's going to miss that. If someone said Joe Linton's got the ball 2 yards out, but he put it away. So good on him for being in that, that predatory position, smack the ball in the net. Yeah,
he's done it. I mean, Yeah, I think he played well first half. Second half, he's a bit quiet. He's not my guy, but at the end of the day, you know, if he produces something,
Give him a 6.
6 out of 10.
Mhm.
No,
I
6 out of
agree
10.
with that, lad. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll do my play ratings either later on or tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow, sort of thing. Now, so I wear things up. You're learning on course to play Shiraz record. If he keeps his form up, I can.
Yeah, that'll be the day. Yeah.
That will be the day, man. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, get rid of Steve Bruce. Get
Well, he's
rid
2
of
and
him.
3, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. When you put it like that, yeah. You got to put a positive spin in it, haven't you? When you're a Newcastle fan, anyway.
But still, what, 3 wins? Was it 4 wins and 24 still? That's the thing.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
gonna-
it's still shocking. Don't get me wrong. But
Still
Steve Bruce
shocking,
will
man.
come out commentary and say that's back-to-back wins, won't he? It's considered those class in the Spurs game as a win.
Is it also not unbeaten in 6 now, though? Because there's 2 ways you can look at it. You can look at it. I think we've had. I'm
Well,
sure
we got
we've read
hammered by Brighton, didn't we? In between.
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We had 3 draws in a row, then got hammered off Brighton.
The 1 defeat in 6, then.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They look at it in the
defeat in
positive
7.
viewpoint.
1 defeat in 7.
Seven,
So we got 3 draws and 4 draws and 2 wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
But still too late. Still too. I want that manager gone at the end of the season. I really,
We
really.
all want them gone. We're all happy now that we're 9 points ahead. If Fulham get beat off Arsenal that we're expecting, that is us safe. And then hopefully this takeover can be done. They might wait until we're mathematically safe before the takeover is announced. Or if it is going to be announced, God knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But for me, that was just a huge result today because I didn't expect anything. And I just think Fulham's heads are going to go down now. I really do.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, just to talk about the takeover quick list sort of thing. Like, do you think the takeover is going to happen, Connor? Do you think this takeover is still going to happen?
I want it to happen. I just think that's with my heart, but with my head, I think it's got to be too far gone. I mean, if you want to take Twitter as you go to a place, Twitter seems to have a mixed bag. You know, you've got 50% saying this is a load of, tosh, it's not going to happen. And then you've got 50% saying this means that, or that means that, or that means that. I don't claim to know enough to be in the know, but I want it to happen. But I just in a realistic world, I couldn't see how it would be possible. I think it seems too far gone at this point. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
It's an arbitration at the minute, so we're not going to know when that's going to happen, when it's going to start. And for me, I think if it goes to arbitration, I think we'll win that because now I think we'll win it because the Premier League. Do you think you're going to win it, Baza? Do you think?
I think we'll win it easily. Of all the stuff that's been coming out recently, I think arbitration it needs to happen before the next season starts, though, because if it doesn't, and takeover is not done in the summer, we're going into a new season with Steve Bruce still as manager, no transfer window, and we're just going to be watching the same crap again. So this needs to be sorted in the summer. If it's not sorted in the summer, I'm kissing goodbye to our Premier League season again.
Yeah, and do you think if we do win the arbitration, does that mean our takeover automatically happen, or do they have to go through the process again?
I don't think it'll automatically happen. I think they'll have to look at the evidence to see if everything's in place from the people who want to buy the club, and if they're actually still interested in buying the club as well. They might have walked away for all we know. There's got to be a willing buyer. We've got a willing seller, I think, at last. So I'm on the fence with it, mate, 50-50. Let's just let it go, let it happen. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, let's do everything we can as a fan base to make sure Steve Bruce is not the manager next season.
Exactly. Got some bad news as well coming out of what Bruce has been saying about ASM.
He limped off, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's got an ankle injury. So
yeah, so that's going to make that makes this win today even more crucial, because without him, we ain't beating the likes of Sheffield United. We don't have a chance against Arsenal. And, going to the last game of the season, going to Fulham, if we need a draw or a win and we haven't got ASM, he's such a massive player for us. And Bruce can't get the best out of the team without having his best players. So that just tells you what kind of situation we could be in if we hadn't won today. So we're very lucky to get 3 points today.
Totally agree. That ASM sort of thing, we would have been absolutely knackered at this moment in time. But we have to wait and see. Connor, I've got to ask you the question before I let you go, because you're going to wrap up soon. Who's your man of the match, and are we going to stay there?
I've got to say, man of the match. I've got to say ASM just because of the a bit like what Baz said. We can't win without him. Without him, that probably would have been defeat or at the very least a draw today. I just think he's so integral to the team. I mean, without him, we can't win, which is another discussion in itself. Like there shouldn't be a situation when you can't win a game or draw a game without a specific player. But unfortunately, we're at a moment in time when the player who's probably going to be away, if I'm honest, in this season or next, is unfortunately so pivotal to our team. The ASM for me.
For you. And are we going to stop this season? Are we going to stop up? I think we will. After that.
Yeah. I mean, I said we'll probably beat West Ham because I've had the feeling for a while they're in a false position. I mean, you look at the stats; they're not creating chances. It's more so players like Lingard that are just creating goals for them in one-off movements. And on paper, West Ham shouldn't really be there if you look at the teams chasing them in the back. So we're down to beat West Ham today. I said maybe he's get a point out of any of the next few, like the likes of Leicester, Liverpool, Man City. Maybe he's get a point out of them and just put all my hopes in the basket of the last 2 games of the season. Fulham and Sheffield United, 3 or 4 points off them games and would be fine. Which beating West Ham, massive bonus today. I mean, realistically, Newcastle, as you lads know, Newcastle, we're likely to go and beat one of those difficult teams I've just listed and probably get a win, and then we'll just cruise into the end of the season and stay up. I mean, I don't want this video to get clipped and replayed when we get relegated. I think we're going to cruise and stay up. Yeah. I'm confident enough. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to cruise. I think we might beat Arsenal, but then.
Yeah, but then that's such a.
I think we're going to cruise by losing every game and Fulham not winning enough.
You think? I mean, I just think it would be such a comfortable position to be in. Final 2 games of the season, Fulham and Sheffield United. I just think, just of the pure, not because of the manager or the coaching staff, just because of the pure quality in the team, I think there's enough to beat those teams. Charlie, if the players are Premier League players, surely they need to just stand up with their chest poked out and say, "We've got enough to beat these today."
Yeah.
Well said. Well, Connor, thank you very much for coming on, my guy, and make sure you come back on again. And that's going to host it next week, and it'll be my turn. So, so we find you, Connor Marshall, on Twitter. Am I right?
That's right. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. Yeah. I just want to say, John, thank you very much for having me on, and you too, Baz.
You too, man. Thank you very much. You're welcome anytime.
Come on again.
Let's enjoy our weekend.
Yes, let's enjoy the weekend now.
You too. Take care. It's all right, mate. So we're going to wrap this up very, very soon. So, Vaza, I mean, wow. Yeah. I mean, what can I say? I mean, are we going to stay up this season? And you told us you had the match, didn't you? Yeah, you said there's ASM.
Yeah, Fernandez. No, Fernandez for me. Well, it was between him and ASM. I would like to still go Fernandez because that's just how solid he was for 90 minutes. Rather than just for 80 minutes. Sorry, did he come off? Did he? So I would say he was excellent. And yes, we are staying up, mate. There's no way we can get relegated now. If we get relegated now, we can play this again, and I'll just shoot myself.
In the foot. In the foot. Not good. Well, listen, I'm going to wrap this up, but it's bad news about ASM having an ankle injury. Huge miss. That makes it. He's just said it there. That's how important it is. Do you know what I mean? It's huge to win this game, because if you're not won that game today and ASM had an injury, we could be in trouble.
We'd be in trouble, be huge trouble.
Exactly, because without him, done. And I'm just glad we did it, sort of thing, So, yeah, listen, Bazza, thanks for coming on, mate. And
it's our show, mate. I'm going to be here. There's a little boy. Say hello. Hello. Say hi, John.
He's a great lad. He's a great man. Make sure you're off to work tonight, or is that tomorrow?
No, that's me. I'm back on Monday.
On Monday, so you're not going to see you on Monday then for the Forceman show?
No. I'm day shift, so I'll be back in time. I'll just be back in time. I'm looking forward to Monday night.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. We talk about loads about Joe Linton and the game.
No, I'm sure we will.
And we've got a happy Thursdays for once, but it's twice in a week, eh?
I know.
Happy week. Happy game Monday.
Strange territory for us now, isn't it?
I know. We're not used to winning games, are we? Not used to winning matches, are you?
Not back to back to back.
Not back to back. You said that now, Kenny Booth. Bless. But listen, Bassa, thanks for coming on, mate. And you know, I gotta wrap this up, and you can come and look after your young'un. And no doubt I shall see you on Monday.
Monday night. Let's bring it on.
Bring it on, baby. Take care.
See you, John. See you, everyone.
You too. Ta-ra.